What's up, guys? Tyler back here at the SG1 Sports YouTube channel with your Week 8 predictions. And boy, what a weekend of college football that we had last weekend. Big week for the Big Ten, and you could make a case for the SEC as well, as those are two biggest conferences. They had some of their biggest games. Obviously, Oregon took down Ohio State, something that I said. And, you know, Ohio State fans still going after me for that prediction, but I honestly was dead balls right, if we're being completely real here, about the Oregon game. And then obviously Ole Miss LSU, I was wrong about that one. But yeah, coming in as 76% straight picks, it's pretty dang good. I would say so for myself, around 59% against the spread. So yeah, for all those people saying how bad I'm doing, I just keep rolling. The ball just keeps rolling for me. Now, this week is an interesting week of college football as there's a lot going on. Let's get straight into the upset pick. It was hard to pick this game, or a upset, but this is what I'm going to go with. Yeah, I'm going to take the Yellow Jackets pulling the upset at home against Notre Dame. See, this one was hard for me. There are a couple real good games that you could put here on upset alert, but I like Georgia Tech, and something about Brent Keys here. And with this offense for Georgia Tech specifically, I think they're going to try to play keep away. Both these teams, really, mainly Notre Dame, they try to play possessional football and smash mouth and try to keep you off the field as much as you could. They just came off of a big performance against Stanford. I think they might be a little bit, they might sleepwalk through the first quarter and into the second quarter, as I'm just not sold on Riley Leonard, quarterback for Notre Dame this season. The run game is really good for Notre Dame, but this front seven for Georgia Tech should be able to compete. And in fact, I think they're going to scope up and scheme up some of these really good rush plays to keep them in the game with Haynes as well as these wide receivers. I'm going to take Brent Keys to pull the upset. Notre Dame's an 11.5-point favorite. I just think that's a little bit too much points, but I'm going to take the Yellow Jackets outright to upset Notre Dame. How about the Arizona Wildcats having just a really bad season? Their offense has really yet to be seen since week 2. I don't really understand what's going on with Arizona, but there's something clearly wrong with them. And Colorado's coming off of a tough loss last week, a close game against Kansas State, who I still believe is going to win the Big 12, but I like Deion Sanders here. I think they're giving way too much credit to Arizona now. Obviously, Colorado's road record isn't that great, but we're talking mainly about last season. I don't really recall them winning a road game, come to think of it, other than the TCU game. So, but they were able to go on the road against Colorado State and UCF back-to-back and win that. I still believe they're going to beat Arizona. Arizona's offense is just questionable. I don't know what happened. Fafita's just been bad. Yeah, I'm going to take Deion Sanders, Travis Hunter, and Shedeur Sanders here on the road. A weirdly ranked matchup here as number 24 Michigan off a bye week takes on 22nd ranked Illinois. Both these teams legitimately could be outside looking in, or kind of should be in the top 25 polls. Michigan has no business being ranked. They're not a top 25 team. I like Illinois here at home. I know they just struggled against Purdue. Maybe looking ahead there, their defense played absolutely horrific. One of the worst I think I've ever seen from Brett Bielema. That was just a shocker. But Michigan's secondary has been shockingly bad, 110th in pass defense. I do believe Luke Alkmaar is going to be able to throw the football, and Illinois is going to be able to limit the rush here. I think I would definitely take Illinois here to beat Michigan, 27-20, something like that. But I don't really understand why Michigan is even ranked. Oklahoma comes in as a 2.5-point home favorite after getting absolutely just demoralized and destroyed by Texas, while South Carolina escaped with a loss. Probably should have won that game. This is a weird situation where both teams are relatively equal. Home field does play in effect for Oklahoma. Especially if this was a road game, I would definitely ride South Carolina. In fact, I do believe South Carolina would be a 2.5-point favorite. That's kind of what Vegas is going with here. They're kind of going with the home team. I'm going to do the opposite. This is Shane Beamer's get-back game and get-right game. If South Carolina doesn't win this game, they probably won't make a bowl game. But this quarterback situation, and it's more than just a quarterback for Oklahoma. I kind of talked about this on the SEC channel at the Voice of College Football. You can go check that out. But Oklahoma's offensive line, the running back core is okay. It was very overrated coming into the season. Wide receivers have just been injured all year long. This is a very depleted Oklahoma offense. I'm going to take South Carolina and Shane Beamer to pull the upset on the road. How about these two teams now? Nebraska 5-1 coming in to this game. A lot of people kind of figured they'd be 5-1 or 4-2. Some people even said 6-0. It's Nebraska. I don't really understand why you expect them to be 6-0 at this point. But Indiana, a team in which I knew was going to be a lot better with Coach C at the helm, just didn't see this coming. And Rourke has potential to be into that Heisman conversation. And this offense for Indiana is very, very tough to stop. Surratt is a really good wide receiver, going to be on that one-on-one. Kind of can't really put him on an island there if you're Nebraska. I just think there's something about this Indiana team. They find ways to win. And to be honest with you, they really haven't been tested. I mean, I guess you can say the Maryland game, they were tied heading into the fourth quarter, but they just blew that game wide open. UCLA wasn't even close. Yeah, I mean, this Indiana team, they're coming off a bye. I'm going to ride Coach C here. I know Indiana's a 4.5 or 5.5 point favorite. I'm going to actually take them here to cover. I wouldn't necessarily bet that, but give me the Hoosiers in a 30-23 type game. I do believe this will be more offensive than what people are used to in the Big Ten. This is the biggest game of the weekend for the Big Ten as well. Has playoff implications with both these teams. The winner of this game is going to put themselves into a huge step forward, especially with their end-of-the-year schedules. Miami Hurricanes on the road. I think they're a single-digit favorite against Louisville, who is 4-2 on the season. Big win last week against Virginia. Shout out to Coach Braum there. But now they host Miami after a bye. And look, Miami needs a humbling badly. This fan base is crazy right now. You know, you have every right to be happy with your team. Your team is 6-0. But with how this Miami team has looked, I wouldn't be too happy if I'm a Miami fan. I know that you're 6-0. I mean, that's a good thing. But going down the lines, there are a lot of Miami fans saying that this is going to be one of the best teams ever and 16-0. I mean, just read it off of Twitter. These Miami fans are crazy. And I'm not trying. Listen, I like Miami. I think Miami's a really good football team. I think they're a legitimate top 10 team. But saying they're going to go 16-0, win the national title by 50 points is just crazy and football ignorant towards me. I don't think they're going to get humbled by Louisville, but I do see this humbling coming relatively soon. And I'm going to go with Miami here on the road. I just think they're a better team than Louisville. Shout out to my boy Tony. We had him on our Game Day Live. Make sure you guys tune in for that. 10 a.m. Eastern time every Saturday mornings for Game Day Live. But yeah, I really wanted to go Louisville here, but Miami after a bye week, I got to trust Mario Cristobal. This is usually, though, when they fall apart. I'm going to give Miami the benefit of the doubt, and I think they'll win on the road in a close 34-27 type deal. Battle for the boot. Both these teams are coming off of big wins as Arkansas just had a bye week. Arkansas should be in the top 25. They are easily a top 25 team, and they should have a win at Oklahoma State and debatably could have had a win over Texas A&M. Now, the Aggies are just getting better and better throughout the season. So is Arkansas. If Taylon Green can limit his turnovers like he did against Tennessee, had 0 turnovers against Tennessee. Now, he did get hurt towards the end of that game. But still, if Taylon Green can not turn the ball over, Arkansas can easily win this game. Thing is, Brian Kelly, like I just said, he's coming off a big win here, and he does this a lot. He wins a lot of these close games, and you know what Sam Pittman does? He loses a lot of them. I think I've been saying that I'm beating like a dead horse. I think the last time I made an Arkansas video, I said they were like 1-11, I believe, in their last 12 close games. Now I think they're 2-11. There's something like 1-10, 2-11, something like that. It's just very, very bad for Sam Pittman. That one win being at Florida and then obviously against Tennessee at home. I'm going to go with Brian Kelly and Garrett Nussmeier to survive a scare from Arkansas and heading into this gauntlet of a schedule for LSU. Second biggest game of the weekend, second in the SEC. Obviously, the big one we'll get to here in a minute or so. But Alabama comes in as a couple-point favorite on the road in Neyland against 11th-ranked Tennessee. To me, this is kind of simple. if Tennessee can't run the ball and Nico can't complete a pass, Alabama's going to convincingly win this game. I don't think it will be that close. I know Alabama's had their troubles over the past few weeks, but Kalen DeBoer, he wins these big games. That's just big game Kalen. He's one of the best head coaches. Like I said before, he could even be the best head coach in college football when preparing for these big game situations. He did it all last year. He upset Texas even. He upset a top 15 UCLA team when he was head coach for Fresno State. It just goes way past that, too, or before that, I mean. But I just like Jalen Milroe as the quarterback on the road. He'll be cool, calm, collected. He has the experience, and Nico doesn't. This offense for Tennessee is just struggling. I do think Tennessee makes it a close game, but I like Alabama on the road to get it done. The game of the week could even be the game of the year. A lot of people are hyping this game up. Number 5, Georgia, 3.5-point road underdog against number 1, Texas. And if you know me, you know I'm a Georgia fan, but I have to go against my team here. I just think Texas is just the better team here. The over-under is set at 55.5. I think that's an easy over. I don't see either one of these teams slowing each other down that much. But I am trusting Texas's defense just a little bit more. And plus, it's a hostile environment. This is Georgia's 5th straight SEC road, or actually, not even just SEC. They played at Georgia Tech last year on primetime for no reason. This is Georgia's 5th straight primetime road game. Just, you know, that's Georgia for you. They're one of the best programs in college football over the past few years. In fact, they probably have been the best since 2020. So, yeah, I mean, this is what Georgia's going to have to deal with. But Georgia's defense has just been a huge issue. That secondary, Julian Humphreys has just been a disappointment. Everett, I mean, I just don't even know what to say on him. Daniel Harris has been up and down. Georgia had a lot of blown coverages last week against Mississippi State. I see from Georgia fans trying to cope with, well, they're just hiding their defensive alignment for Texas. Just stop it. This is Georgia's defense for you. It's not bad. It's not a terrible defense. Still giving up 17 points per game. Top 25 defensively overall, but that's just not Georgia's standard. And this Georgia team, to me, isn't up to Georgia's standards, but this Texas team is the best team in college football. And I'm going to pick Texas here to win and cover. They are the home team, and their defense is just a lot better than Georgia's thus far. Now, they haven't really played a really good quarterback, and obviously Carson Beck is a top 6 overall quarterback in college football, top 5 to be honest with you. So this is going to be a really good matchup. I think it'll be back and forth, but I do believe Texas is going to start out hot and probably not look back. Georgia scraping by just to make it a close game potentially. I do think it's going to be a good game, but the same old Georgia team that just comes out and looks pretty bad in the first quarter into the second quarter is probably going to be showing. If Georgia doesn't start out hot, they will probably not win this game. And I like the Longhorns to win this game, so shout out to Texas fans. I will say this about Texas. They need to be humbled as well. Them and Miami are at the top of the list for teams that need to be humbled. I don't think either team is losing this weekend. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think here. I know I'm a Georgia fan. I'm going to upset other fellow Georgia fans here, but I'm just being for real here. I like to keep it unbiased, and that's why I'm going with Texas. I just think they're the better team. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.